Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up. I made this beautiful card. It's got a little bit of a fancy fold. You can set it on your table for display. I made this card with products from Stampin' Up. I sell these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I have the free detailed directions for this card on my website. I also have links for the products that I used. Just click those links and it'll take you to my online store at Stampin' Up. You'll see where to find all of that at the end of this video, so don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. I'm using Fragrant layers and the coordinating dies. Just beautiful. There's lots of different ways you can use this. My cardstock is an envelope, of course. My card base is crumb cake. This is 4 1/4. This is 11 by 4 1/4. Scored at 5 1/2. Also scored at 1 1/2 inch sections. So this is scored at 5 1/2, 7, 8 1/2, and 10. And we're going to go ahead and fold all of these the same direction because it's going to come around and make kind of a box. I have 1, 2, 3 panels that are 4 1/8 by 1 3/8. If you cut your cardstock at 4 1/8 by 4 1/8, you can then get your 3 1 3/8 pieces. So I have done that, and so I should be able to put them together like that. But we're going to put the pieces on these 3 panels. This last one is the one we're going to glue down. Before I glue these panels down though, I want to put some of the Hydrangea Hue Designer Series paper on the ends. And I want to be sure and pull that snugly. So this is like maybe 5 inches, a little bit more than 5. You just need enough to come back to the back. So this is 4 1/8. So I'm going to go ahead and put this piece on. And I guess since I've got adhesive tape, I can go ahead and do that. I like to put a little bit of adhesive on top of the ribbon just to help that stay put. And now I've turned that paper around, so I want to have it there we go. Okay, so I want to fold this in half at the 5 1/2 mark. This piece goes here. Small borders. This piece will go here. So you see there is a little bit of a gap here, but these designs blend in. Again, if you don't do it, nobody's going to notice. I bet you didn't notice on my first card that I showed. And this one especially does not really matter because it's going to be hiding behind another piece. I have another piece of Designer Series paper from that same, I didn't tell you what this is. This is the Delicate Designs Specialty Designer Series paper. And I'm going to put this piece in here. I want to put this in before I glue this down because it will overlap a little bit. And then I want to use a strong adhesive. I could use the Stamp and Seal Plus or the multi-purpose liquid glue. Either one would be okay. The liquid glue will take a little bit of time to dry and you might have to hold it. So I'm going to use tear and tape. I want to be right pretty close to that crease here. And I'll put another piece on the edge. And I'll take the backings off. And I want to fold this one here so that the panel with the ribbon is down. So these, you can see that these overlap a little bit. So with this flat, if I tuck this under, this should be a perfect fit so that it goes either way. I have two pieces of white. One I'm going to be stamping on, and one is going to go on the inside. I'm going to die cut the copper, and this copper color is actually earthen toned metallic specialty designer series paper, this foil. This has a coppery shine to this paper, and I thought this foil was perfect. So I'm going to just center this on here. One of these die cuts I cut with a very small border around here, just barely bigger than the die itself. But I thought it would be easier having a little bit wider border. And it should cut very nicely, but I'm going to go through a second time just to be sure. And we have lots of confetti. And I usually end up just poking it. I'm going to actually get my take your pick brush tool out. And I do not see where my cover is, so I'm going to just take that pokey thing off so I don't poke myself. And I am brushing on the back side of it. I don't want to brush on the foil side because I don't want it to mark it up. I'm going to put this on here, and I do want to align this pretty well. I'm going to use a pencil to lightly mark these corner edge placements. I just realized that I didn't want to mark the leaves. I want to mark the petals because the leaves are not on that stamp. I want to mark the petals. So I already did this petal and this petal, and then those corner pieces. There's 3 dots and kind of a string of dots. So that's good for me to know. I've got my 3 dots and that string of dots. So I'm going to put those there. Oh. Now the other reason why I gave myself that extra border is if I may need to wiggle it around a little bit extra. So I'm going to get an eraser out and erase those marks. Of course, it would be better for me to wait till the ink is all the way dry, but I'm not very patient. This will fit on here. And so what I want to put some liquid glue in some of the thicker parts. And of course I should have my silicone mat. Let me get that out. So there's some larger areas that are good places to use the glue. Especially anything like this leaf that sticks out. And then if I put glue in right on the inside edge, and go all the way around that white. And you do not want to get gloppy with that glue. Okay, so I've got my 3 and my 4, so I can position those on there. Whoops. So I want to put this flower here, or this panel here, kind of centered between here and here, and top and bottom. So it's just a little bit of an edge, so I'm going to put 2 strips of tear and tape on this side. And I'm going to put those side by side. Okay. And again, center top and bottom. Okay. And I did want to stamp this piece. This piece is not quite square. It's going to go here, and I want to be sure it gets covered up here. So it needs to go vertical, and I have a pretty flower stamping in crumb cake. And I have crumb cake to fill it in. I'm going to stamp off on scratch paper. And now I want to try and figure out where this flower, that's one hard thing. So this flower has a dip, this flower has a dip. That's it. Perfect. And before I press it down, I just want to make sure it's going to be all covered up. Yep. And then I just want to tie like 3 or 4 inches, 3 inches, maybe 3.5. I'm just going to slip this under here, tie this in a knot. If you want to make sure that stays put, you can put a glue dot underneath that if you want. And there it is. Here is the web address where you'll find the free detailed directions and links for the products I used. I offer lots of resources on my website. Click Shop to see the online exclusives, clearance items, and the products I offer to make crafting more convenient. That includes cardstock samplers for all the current and retired Stampin' Up! Cardstock. Click Inspiration to find all the projects with instructions going all the way back to 2011. You may also want to check out the Basics button where I share about stamps, paper, cutting bases and layers, and some of my favorite tools. Click Getting Organized to find case inserts and labels, color tools, and a video of my craft wall, and more. Click From Evernote to the CraftSpace app to find out how you can keep track of all the craft products you own. You can find just what you want for your next project, whether you're searching by product, color, words, or themes. You can also browse through thousands of craft products that you might want to add to your wish list. More organization means more time for crafting. Click Stamp Together if you're in Ventura County, and come to my house and we can all craft together. You can also join my team if you're anywhere in the United States. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and also to my website so you don't miss a thing. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.